Alright guys, so if you can't see from the title, today is going to be sort of a rant, just a tad bit, not much. But yeah guys, so from the beginning of this channel, I've always had one or two comments from people claiming to be a copycat, fanboy, wannabe, whatever you name it, of my friend Dark Elliptic Heart, Jason. And, well, for the most part, some things I can understand, and there's some things that most people don't understand or don't see. You know, for the most part, most people look at the channel and see, oh, the layout or my intros or the icon, and they immediately just think dark, which to a point I can understand, but they don't look into anything or look deep enough. They just see what's on the surface, which is what most people see, and I can't blame anyone for that. It's just, there gets to a point where you get tired of seeing that kind of stuff, and you gotta either live with it or do something about it. And then this is pretty much what I'm gonna do about it. I know I'm not gonna be able to stop everyone from claiming that unless I really change the channel entirely, and then I'm gonna lose the subscribers I already have. You know, I like what I do, I enjoy doing the videos, and, I love feedback, which is one of my favorite things, is hearing what you guys think of the videos and the things I put out. So, this video is just going to be me going over some of the things that the people like to point out about my channel and the similarities between me and Jason. Which, I can understand, like I said, I can understand, but it's nice to go over it. So, the first thing people like to comment about mine and Jason's channel. Alright guys, so yes, my layout of the channel, what I do with the channel, is a big thing that people like to mention when I'm doing videos and in the comment section below. So obviously, yes, my layout is heavily inspired by Jason's channel. When I first started up this channel, I just started meeting Jason, talking to him. He became kind of like my mentor in the whole RC YouTube thing. I've done YouTube before, and I've just never done anything RC related in YouTube. So it was still new to me, but I understood editing and how everything worked. So Jason kind of like helped me a little bit. I mean, there wasn't too much. I pretty much had everything down. He was just kind of there, giving me a little insight. And during that time, I was looking around, seeing what other people had done, and getting understanding what people liked and what I would like to do. When I first started, I looked at GeoStealth R1, Joe Schmo, RC Sparks. I looked at a lot of its big time YouTubers, and I got a feel for what those kind of channels would be like to work on. And I didn't like the ones where they would update with like a bunch of parts and they'd put them all in one RC at a time. At the same time, I didn't like the ones where the regular updates showing them what they've been doing. I really did like the single upgrades one at a time, showing how to put them on. And that was Jason's channel, and it helps that I am a good friend of his. I've been knowing him for 2 years now, and I can say he's one of my best friends, which also helps with this kind of stuff. And yeah, so I really did get attached to the way he laid out his channel, the upgrade videos, the loving. There's something there that I really did like. I enjoyed doing, and I thought some people would actually like. I've seen channels similar to what Jason did, and did fairly well. So I thought it was a little bit of a challenge. So I based my channel a little bit off of his. I mean, could have I done something different? Yeah. I could have probably come up with something different, but I really did like the way he did. And I don't want to do a channel where I don't like doing other things, I want to enjoy doing this. I don't want to do something and I don't like doing it at all. I want to keep having to want to come back and do more, which I do with this layout. I really do. There's things that I do with this channel that I want to change as well. I mean, there's small things I want to change, and it's not big, but it's little details that I really want to refine this year. So that's pretty much my thing with the layout, especially with the fact that, when it comes to channels, there's a lot of channels that have the same layout, especially gaming channels. Those are a big culprit of pretty much being the same channel over and over and over again, which I thought, because I used to actually do a gaming channel, that didn't work out well. I didn't like it. But, yeah, so there was a lot of things that, I didn't expect to get as many people calling me a copycat dark, and mainly with the layout. That was something I was not expecting. I should have expected it, but I didn't. Other than that, yeah, there's just so much. So I'll move on to the next point that people like to point out, and that being so yeah, guys, the my intros and icons for the RCs. That's another big thing that people like to point out, which is very similar to Jason's, and to a point I can understand. The intros have always been placeholders until I could figure out something else. The first, I liked the way I wanted the layouts to be was showing the icon of the RC, which I'll get into a little bit later, brand, type, name. And within it, I also wanted the music of each RC, which I get all NCS, no copyrighted, and the color, which is usually the background and the color of the symbol. So with all that, I put it all together and got what I got. Unfortunately, I myself am not happy with the way my intros have turned out. I like the beginning, but I don't like the end. The end where it shows a picture of the RC. I don't like how it's turned out. I could never figure out something that would work. So it's always been a placeholder. It's always meant to change. I constantly try and change them a bit, but until I figure out something, it's kind of like what I'm stuck with. As for icons, that's another thing entirely. How Jason has his faces for his RCs, I have the icons. Whereas when Jason does his faces, he has a bunch of pre-drawn, or he actually draws a new one if he doesn't have a pre-drawn one that he likes, and that kind of is the face of the RC. You don't see that anywhere else besides the thumbnails, the intros, and during his mini-movie. My icons, I wanted to actually have them very simplistic, not too much detail. That way it'd be easy to print out or paint onto RC bodies. This way the RCs could sport their actual icons. It was a really cool idea I had at the very beginning. I haven't actually done it yet, obviously, but it was something I always wanted to do. And I think this year, I'm going to go ahead, clean up all the icons, remake the intros, and make them a lot nicer. That's what I think I want to do. As for, I'll admit, they're very similar to Darks. I did that specifically as a placeholder. They're never meant to be as is. So one of these days I need to sit down and remake them all. And just, get them to look right for me. Unfortunately, the way they turned out, yes, they're very similar to Jason's. I'll admit that. And am I happy about it? No. No, I am not. So I definitely need to fix those. Seriously, fix those. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the icons and intros. The next thing that people like to compare is monster and creature. As you guys can see, I have monster already in front of me, and the biggest thing that people like to compare between the two is pretty much the entire design of them. They're both green / two-wheel drive LCGs. Their names are very similar, and it's just a carbon copy of creature, And in reality, whether you see it or not, I don't see it as a carbon copy. I got Monster as a birthday gift in 2010. 2011, I started racing them at my local hobby shop before they closed down. And during that time, I got my very first lipo, which was a Team Epic 5300 milliamp 2S lipo, being a Monster track pack. So, not much explanation needed where I got his name Monster from my favorite lipo, which I still have used, and it works beautifully today. The case is pretty messed up. It's pretty beat up. I pulled it apart to repair it, because the wire is right here, but the cells themselves are very much intact. And yeah, I got the name from my favorite lipo for my RC, because at the time, Monster was the only one that would use that battery. So it became his battery. So it's got his name on it, which I always thought was funny. But that's where I got his name from, Monster. And where I got his color scheme from was back when I was racing. I used to use an old stock Amsoil black and silver body, one of the ones that you normally see on the Slash 4x4. I got that body stock with this Slash when it was first given to me, and I loved that body. I really did. But during the racings, I would break it so much. It was literally falling apart before I got the new body. It was an SC10 body that was painted by one of the other racers, and she gave it to me. And I used it. And I still had used it when I started this channel. And that's pretty much what brought me into making him green, was the green body that I was given. And, I mean, when it boils down to it, when I see Monster, I don't think Creature. Not at all. Between everything I've done to him, yes, there's some similarities on him that Creature has, like green shocks, yeah. But I've also done things that even Jason hasn't done. I got a whole custom LED kit, spare tire racks, There's so many things that you can do in an RC without making every single one the same. A green Slash is going to be a green Slash, RPM bumpers, you can't really go wrong there. Shock towers. I definitely have made my own with the sway bar kits and everything else I've done to them. But yeah, I can't stop anyone from saying Monster is a carbon copy of Creature, To a point, all of our RCs, they can be similar to one another as much as they want. But to us, they're always going to be different, I don't see Creature when I look at Monster. Now, because of them being so similar, back when I found Jason's channel, which was after the LCG kit upgrade on Creature. This was during the time I was looking into getting the LCG kit, and I wanted to see how it looked. Not by photos, but on an actual RC. And I didn't know anyone that had it, so I went online and I came across Jason's channel. And that's when I became very, very intrigued in Jason's channel. I'll admit, at that time in my life, I was a fanboy. I will admit this. I was rearing, I was excited whenever he posted a video. I felt bad for him when something bad happened. I was really there for him. Obviously as a subscriber, I didn't know him at the time, but I really did like the way he was doing. It was especially around the time he was doing a lot of those RC mini movies. And of course, I had, between me, my brother, and a friend of ours, we had an idea for our own mini movie, which I never intended to actually do. But it was just one of those thoughts, And one of the biggest things was because even I recognized Monster and Creature were very similar. And I always thought it would be funny to do Monster has an internet crush on Creature. It was a stupid little kid idea. It still makes me style when I think about it, just because it was so stupid. But yeah, so I honestly can't really. I can see why people think Monster is a carbon copy of Creature, but it's simply a coincidence. It was just by random. Honestly, he could have been blue or red. depending on the color body I got. You know, you never know. But green is also my favorite color, so that was a strong thing that also put it into why I made him green. So, yeah, that's another thing that people like to point out about mine and Jason's similarities. Alright guys, so the last thing that not many people say, but some people I've seen some people come across, is apparently me and Jason sound the same. Not sure how to think of that one. That one's something that a couple people have pointed out, which I honestly don't understand why, but they have, and honestly, I don't understand if we verbally sound the same, like our voices are the same, or they mean our speech, how we talk in our videos. If that's the case, yes. Because I've always seen, want to act a little more professional when it comes to these. I don't want to be sounding like an idiot like I normally am. I want to sound a little more professional. Which is why I want to put down my foot when it comes to me going, but, just my own verbal things. I like to keep them a little more professional sounding. When you are watching a video and you hear a lot of normally, at least for me, it kind of like makes you want to step back, step away. It doesn't sound like they're too engaged or too confident. And it's something that I did a lot back when I first started, and I try and step away from. So, it's just something I've always thought of when I do videos. It's just to try and stay away from that stuff. I still do it, I know I do, and I do it without thinking. It's mainly when my mind is going what speed and my mouth is going another. I just need to slow down. There's just so much, do. But yeah, apparently me and him sound the same. I don't know what that's all about. But other than that, there's really, besides the little things that people like to say, there's not much else in comparison. I want to try and change up the channel too. There's things that I want to do, things I want to take out. Like, for example, parts of my intros, I want to redo them, which I plan on doing. There's parts of the videos themselves that I want to take out, such as the blah 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 level blah upgrade. The Goliath level 13 upgrade, where I'm just painting, or, well, more appropriately, monster level 13 upgrade. I want to get rid of that bit, just because I can never make it sound good or look good. So that's stuff that I'm going to be taking out. Redoing the intros. I've already made a new outro, which you guys seen. I had so much fun doing that. It came out so nice, at least I think it did. And it just really did turn out well. And I want to do the same for the intros. I enjoy making those little short clips, It's really fun. There's not too much, well, there's actually somewhat a lot of editing involved. I took a long time in Photoshop just making the inlays for that video, and then before I even finally started putting things together for it. But it was a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing that little kind of editing. So there's little things I want to change for the channel. The layout's still going to be the same. Just, there I go again with the uhs. Cannot think, can I? But, yeah, there's just a ton of things I want to change. Well, very little things. So, other than that, guys, yeah, this is pretty much my little rant of the comparison between me and Jason. It's so, honestly, I see it, it's so stupid. It really is. Because you don't hear this, oh, Vanoss Gaming is a copycat of Nanners, or, what's another good one? Because I don't know many two gaming. Captain Sparkle's a copy of Jacksepticeye or Markiplier, You don't hear that because, it's mainly they have the same layout, but it's the personality that's different, It's, the layout's the same, which is why I can't understand why many people call me a copycat due to the layout. Because it's the layout. It's the way the videos are done. And people shouldn't be called copycats for layout, They should be copycats if, down to a T, the way the videos are done, the RCs, upgrades, desk space, if someone was a copycat to a T, I'd have a room that looks exactly like Jason. All of the RC that look exactly like Jason's. And, that's what I see when I think of a copycat. Can I be called a copycat? Yeah. But then you're calling half YouTube copycat, Everything has been done at least once. There's the original and then there's everyone else. So, really, I don't like to see myself as a copycat. Whether other people see myself as a copycat, it's up to them. I do this for fun. I enjoy it. And it's awesome too when the person people call you a copycat of, you're best friends with, and you watch each other's videos. That's what I find even more hysterical. Jason watches my videos. He comments on my videos. Me and him play Minecraft. We talk, Skype, play Magic over there. It's really. I find it really funny when people call you a copycat and you're best friends with the guy. It's really funny, and also it can be very stupid. It's the whole, this entire thing is so stupid. But yeah, guys, that's been pretty much my rant. If I don't stop now, I'll keep rambling like I normally do. But it's just, you get tired of hearing it so many times, and this is just me trying to do something about it. I'd like to just put this behind me. Don't have to worry about any more freaking, oh, you're a copycat, wannabe, and they're with the uns again. But yeah, it's just, I find it stupid. But other than that, guys, there's nothing much else part of this video. It's just me ranting. So I will see you guys all in the next video.